They're all.
All right.
Oh, it's not sure. Probably Chris gets some.
They got.
Mario gets some.
Is it? Oh, no, we pass them around. If you want to take a look, they're here in case you want to pass them around. Mario brought them to us. They go back to him at the end.
Okay.
But in case someone says, hey, there's a permit,
Gotcha.
we have a question about it, that's right there.
Want to look at it.
Testing. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. How do I turn it up louder?
You're good.
There. Says it's all the way up. Okay.
Presidente for the day.
Yeah, I signed off on them. I already looked at it.
Yeah, give them to Chris.
Are those all the permits?
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case we need to refer to them, we'll have them.
They aren't, they're here for a merit badge.
Oh, cool. Ready? City clerk, you ready?
Yes, I'm just admitting some folks into the meeting right now, but I'm ready whenever you are, sir.
Oh, wait a second. No problem. Ready?
I'll sit up here in the front.
Not my seat. I can sit here and you could sit here and we go across. You could sit closer. All right, at this time, we're going to call city council meeting for the city of Tonawanda to order. City clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Here.
Greg,
Yeah.
Boyce-Annay,
Here. All right.
Council President Cook and Councilmember Sheasley are excused.
Thank you. At this time, when we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, I hear the Boy Scouts are here to earn merit badges. So I'm going to ask every Boy Scout that's here in uniform, please come to the front to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you're able.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Right. Thank you, Boy Scouts, for doing that. At this time, we are going to invite up Lieutenant Adam Mack of the Tonawanda Salvation Army to lead us in prayer. We can use one of these. Come on up. Be nice and loud for you.
Let's pray together. God, we thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for this opportunity to come together. We just ask that you bless our time, that we may be fruitful and be grateful for your provision. We give you honor and praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay. So for the first time in a while, we're going to turn this over to the mayor for the new Veteran of the Quarter program. It used to be the Veteran of the Month. It's been revamped. We have two veterans on the council, myself and Jim, worked with the mayor to revamp the mayor's Veteran of the Quarter program. So at this time, I turn it over to the mayor for this exciting presentation.
Great, thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up Jennifer Valentine, please. Jennifer Valentine is the daughter of Susan and Bob Gregg. Born and raised in Tonawanda, Jennifer is a 1995 graduate of Tonawanda High School. After graduation, she attended Boston University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. Upon graduation from BU, she was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force and serves as a communication information officer until her honorable discharge in 2007. Her first duty station was Travis Air Force Base, where she was assigned to the 615 Air Mobility Operations Squadron. At Traverse, her team led the Air Force deploying theater deployable communications equipment in support of U.S. COM Global Reach Laydown Mission. She also deployed twice to Southeast Asia in support of Operation Cobra Gold, a joint multinational exercise that was selected to be the first ever second lieutenant to coordinate AMOS support for Cobra Gold in unit history. In 2001, she was stationed at Pope Air Force Base, North Carolina. Jennifer served as the Director of Network Operations Center, Maintenance Flight Commander for the 43rd Communications Squadron, and as the Executive Officer for the 18th Air Operations Support Group. In 2002, she was deployed to Seeb Air Base in Oman in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Her team directly supported C-130 air operations in Afghanistan. For her efforts, she was recognized as Pope Air Force Base's Armed Forces Communications Electronic Association Soldier of the Year in 2003. In 2005, she was selected to attend the Air Force Institute of Technology at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, a program with a 1% selection rate. Upon completion of AFIT, Jennifer received her Master's of Science in Information Resource Management. Additionally, her master's thesis was selected to be presented at the International Command and Control Research and Technology Symposium at Cambridge University in 2006. In 2006, Jennifer served on headquarters staff in the United States Air Force Base in Europe at Ramstein Air Force Base, Germany. Her accountabilities included being the program manager for the Combat Information Transport Systems program and was responsible for upgrading the telecommunications infrastructure for each of the air bases across Europe. Jennifer separated from the Air Force in 2007, achieving the rank of captain. She currently lives in East Aurora with her husband, Jeffrey, and their 3 children, Weston, Megan, and Henry. Her awards included Meritorious Service Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster, Air Force Base Commendation Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War of Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War of Terrorism Service Medal. For all these reasons, I'm proud to introduce our first quarter of 2026 veteran, Jennifer Valentine.
Susan, we help you in the picture.
So by doing this quarterly, we wanted to do something a little bit special. And in the past, there's been a certificate given. We decided, as Chris said, with his help, Jim Sheasley's help, and Barb Seafried from Niagara Sports Award, who donated a lot of her time. We also, along with this plaque, have a $100 gift certificate for dinner to Joey's Restaurant. So on behalf of a grateful city and a grateful nation, thank you for your service and everything you did. Congratulations. You want to talk?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Here, everybody.
Right. 4 times a year, we're gonna have a big statue like that for the veterans, so really appreciate that. At this time, we are gonna turn it over to the mayor again for the City of Tonawanda celebration of Arbor Day.
Thank you. You should have brought a bottle of water. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. Whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Days is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lowering our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in the city increase property value, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees are a source of joy and spiritual renewal wherever they are planted. And whereas the city of Tonawanda has been designated as a Tree City USA, should be for 2026 by the Arbor Day Foundation, I, William Strasburg, do hereby proclaim what will be Friday, April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day. Thank you.
All right. No communications from the mayor. There were 2 communications from city officials and correspondence. One was the zoning board of appeals March meeting minutes. The other was the clerk's monthly report for March. Those are on file with the city clerk's office. Anybody'd like to see those? We've now completed the presentation of petitions. And at this time, we will take public comments from the public on the resolutions. Persons wishing to speak and be recognized are to be courteous, respectful, non-repetitive, and brief. All questions or comments should be addressed to the president, absent. Please state your name, address for inclusion on the common council minutes. Every person wishing to have a response outside can please leave all necessary contact information with the city clerk. You may address the common council 2 times, once prior to the resolutions and then also on the comments post-resolution. We will also have a public hearing later today you'll be able to speak on. Individuals will be allowed to speak for a total of 3 minutes per speaker. This guideline will allow everyone the opportunity to speak who wishes to do so. Use of cell phones must be silent to not disturb the meeting or interfere with audio and video recordings. At this time, we do have a comment on the floor. This time I turn it over to you. Yep. It's on you. Yep.
Yeah, Thomas Perner, 228 Clover Street, Tonawanda. On tonight's, we're voting on the agreement for the volunteer fire companies in the city of Tonawanda. There's 4 volunteer fire companies in the city of Tonawanda. I see listed here the Union Hook and Ladder Company, number 1, the Delaware Homes Company, number 2, the Niagara Homes Company, number 3, but the National Homes Company, number 1 is not listed. Can I have an explanation on that? Why is it not listed tonight?
So we have a resolution that was prepared. It's basically a boilerplate of the other 3, so there's 4 total. So by the council rules, that has to have a sponsor to be placed on tonight's agenda. There has not been a council person willing to sponsor that resolution.
So that would be acted on next month's meeting, or until they got to get a sponsor?
They have to get a sponsor to have it introduced onto the resolutions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments or questions on the resolutions? All right, City Clerk, anybody online wishing to make a comment on the resolutions?
No, sir.
Okay. So at this time, we're going to go through to the regular. Okay. So at this time, we're going to proceed with the resolutions up until the ones that require a public hearing. So City Clerk, if you could begin with resolution number 1, please.
Yes, sir. Resolution number 1 by the council. Resolved that the common council minutes from April 7th, 2026 be accepted as filed.
Comments or questions? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Boyce and A.
Aye. The resolution adopted. Number 2.
Resolution number 2 by the council, seconded by the council, resolved that the bills be allowed as audited.
Comments or questions?
One question for treasurer.
Oh, please, treasurer, question.
Sorry I didn't get you sooner. The internet and phones, they range from like 80 to 895. Is that just locations? 895 is in fact.
You know, where, on the range phone, yeah, probably how many phone internet, I don't know what we have.
Okay, then it'll go up to 900 for certain sites.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's 2 months, well. I suppose.
Okay, no, just curious. And then, we bought road salt March 31st.
Yeah.
Is it end of the season? Do we get a discount or something, Mr. Frenzel?
So in the beginning of the year, you have to tell them how much you plan on ordering. I have to buy 75% of how much I tell them I want. So I was just fulfilling my end of the contract
To fulfill that in the contract with this past year,
for this season.
for the season.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we didn't really never hit the max though. No. Great. Okay, great. Thank you. That's all.
City clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg, Boyce-Nay.
Aye.
The resolution adopted.
Resolution number 3 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second?
Resolved-
A second by Susan Gregg, third ward.
Resolved that at the recommendation of the Superintendent of Public Works, the 2026 paving equipment and operator rental bid be awarded to Robinson Paving Incorporated per their submitted bid on April 8th, 2026 of $750 per hour.
Comments or questions? All right, city clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce-Nay.
Aye.
Resolution adopted. Number 4.
I'll make motion to waive the reading of number 4.
City clerk, I have a motion on the floor to waive the reading of resolution number 4. I will second.
I'll call the roll. Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce-Nay.
At this time, we're going to declare the waiving of the reading of number 4. City clerk, please proceed with number 4.
Resolution number 4 by Councilmember Boyce-Nay.
I'll second. Comments or questions? All right. City clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce-Nay.
Aye.
The resolution adopted. Resolution number 5.
Resolution number 5 by the council, seconded by the council. Seeker determination type 2 resolution, whereas the city of Tonawanda plans to repair and replace damaged sidewalk and ADA compliant ramps in various locations throughout the city. And whereas 6 NYCRR section 617.5 under the State Environmental Quality Review Act provides that environmental review under the Environmental Conservation Law. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Tonawanda hereby determines that the proposed sidewalk repair and replacement is a type 2 action in accordance with 6 NYCRR section 617.5, maintenance or repair involving no substantial changes in existing structure or facility, and is therefore not subject to review under 6 NYCRR Part 617.
Comments or questions?
I have a question for the building inspector. Is this going to address the curb cut at the senior center on Main Street, the handicap?
The curb cut on sidewalks are engineering,
I'm sorry.
sidewalks are engineering. They're not pulling part of it?
It's Jason, the engineer.
Yes.
He's
It's,
He was excused tonight.
Do you know the answer to this though?
This isn't part of that. This is just, it's part of one of the grants they get in order to do the extension of whatever that is through community block development or something. He needed- It was a formality, which has added money to do sidewalks. That was my understanding.
Okay, I was under the understanding this to do the handicap, but it's.
No.
Okay.
So because you're talking about the senior centers in the second ward and some of the block grant that you're talking about, that would be a question to follow up with Jason to see if that's on the list, if it can be added to this list, because Jason's the one who maintains this list. And if it's not, then it would go on the other list that we maintain. We have 2 separate sidewalk lists. So is there a curb cut there currently and you're looking to replace it? They want to put one in, so does 5 Main, and we've had discussions. So there's going to be progress on ADA compliance for that. Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Voisin.
Aye. The resolution adopted. Resolution number 6.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading of the special events from number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. City Clerk, we have a motion on the floor to waive the reading of resolutions 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I will second. Can you please call the roll?
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Voisin.
Aye.
So resolution number 6 by Councilmember Greg.
Seconded by Councilmember Fisher. Comments or questions? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Voisin.
Aye. The resolution adopted. Resolution number 7.
Resolution 7 by Councilmember Greg.
Is there a second? Second. Jason, 4th Ward. Comments or questions? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Voisin.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 8 by Councilmember Voisin.
Move a second. I will second. Comments or questions?
Just a quick comment, happy to bring this event to Veterans Park and for the use of Teen Wars in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Voisin.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 9 by Councilmember Fisher.
We have a second. Seconded by 3rd Ward Councilwoman Susan Gregg. Comments or questions? I have a comment. This is for Decoration Day. I have a flyer if anybody is interested in learning about Decoration Day, not the day itself, but the day of May 23rd, what they're going to be doing from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They're going to have guest speakers, gravestone repair and cleaning demonstrations, and hear the story of the people who served. And then you will have a special guest, the Niagara Falls United States Air Force Honor Guard. All are welcome. So we have a flyer. City Clerk, do you have a copy of the flyer?
I can print one up, sir. Off.
Well, if not, I'll give you this, so you have a copy on file if anybody wants to request a copy of the flyer from the city clerk's office.
I have got.
Oh, yeah, and we have the cemetery board chair, Ron Schneider, is with us with copies. So, all right, any other comments or questions? All right, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg, Voisin.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. City Clerk, on the bottom of number 9, so I have the flyer till 1:30 p.m. The top paragraph is 1:30 p.m., but the bottom paragraph, you have a typo of 1 p.m. You see that in the now therefore be resolved, the last one?
Yes.
City Attorney, do we have to go back through and amend this because that typo or no?
Well, it's on the flyer. The flyer, the typo?
No, the flyer's 1:30.
Right.
Resolution, paragraph 1 says 1:30. Resolution, paragraph 4 says 1 PM.
In the resolution?
In the resolution, they have 2 different times.
Oh, should have it correct.
Okay. At this time, I'm making a motion to amend resolution number 9. I have a second. I have a second by Councilmember Gregg. All those in favor? Aye. City Clerk, can you please amend resolution number 9 in the very last paragraph to change the 1 PM to 1:30 PM?
Yes, sir.
All right. At this time, can you call the roll for the amended resolution of resolution number 9?
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg, Boyce,
Aye. Declare the amended resolution number 9 adopted. Thank you, City Clerk.
Resolution number 10 by Councilmember Fisher.
Second.
Seconded by 4th Ward Council Member. Comments or questions? I got a comment. This is the Elks Lodge Bike Night. I know you two are new for this year, but we talked about this last year. And when they went through, they applied, they originally wanted it to be this way, and they gave them every other Thursday. I believe there was an email that we had from the police captain, and then it might be in the application if you want to see it. It was pretty uneventful as far as criminal activity. So it turned out to be a great event with music and motorcycles. It brought people into our downtown. So I'm glad to see that we're looking to put it every Thursday for the summer. I thank the Elks Lodge for taking initiative to run it. That is all. All right, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye. Clear the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 11 by Councilmember Boyce.
Is there a second? I will second. Comments or questions?
Just a quick comment. Happy to bring another event down to our park for the youth of our community. Thank you very much.
Hey, getting all these good events going on here. Thank you, Jason. All right, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye.
Clear the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 12.
Hold on, City Clerk, we have a motion on the floor.
Make a motion to waive resolutions 13, 14, I'm sorry, 12, 13, and 14.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilmember Gregg, 3rd Ward, to waive the readings of resolutions 12, 13, and 14. I will second. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye.
Declare the motion to waive the readings of resolutions 12, 13, and 14 adopted. At this time, City Clerk, you can begin with number 12.
Number 12 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second? Seconded by 3rd Ward Susan Gregg. Comment or questions? All right. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye.
Declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution 13 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second? Seconded by 3rd Ward Councilmember Susan Gregg. Comments or questions? No comments or questions, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye.
Declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 14 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second? Seconded by 3rd Ward Councilwoman Susan Gregg. Comments or questions? There is no comments or questions. Please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Boyce,
Aye.
Declare the resolution adopted. So at this time, I'm going to make a motion to suspend our formal meeting and go into our informal meeting pending the public hearing for resolutions 15 through 19. 15 through 19 are pending public hearings at 7 p.m. We're going to suspend and go into our informal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by 4th Ward Council Member. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Greg.
Aye.
Boyson A.
Aye.
At this time, we're going to conclude suspend our formal and enter into our informal. Do you guys would you guys like to take a break before the informal, or are we all set to go into it? Okay. City Clerk, do you need to do anything special, or are you all set to go?
No, sir, I'm set to go whenever you are.
All right. So we will begin going around the room at this time. I'd like to open it up to the mayor. Your comments, please.
I don't have a whole lot. We started milling for paving on Killawald. It was the worst street in the city. The milling started on Monday and we're making progress because Killawald was really in rough shape. We had delayed that paving pending the water department was supposed to replace the line in 2024, actually. So we didn't want to pave a road and have it dug up the next year. Well, here we are in 26 and it still hasn't been done. And those folks and businesses that live on Killawald just can't deal with that road anymore with how bad it got. So I'd just like to thank the DPW for getting out there ASAP and starting up. That's really all I have.
All right, thank you. But piggybacking, I got a question for the DPW. Do you have to wait for that, the resolution we just adopted for the $750 an hour equipment? Do you have to wait for that equipment to get here, or you can already start without it?
I can start the milling without it.
Okay.
I can start the paving until that passes.
Oh, that's the pay. We got the miller. Got it.
I
Okay,
can start tomorrow.
got it. And how the pothole filling machine going? Potholes are good?
It's great. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's awesome.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mayor. For the Chris Fisher Gives Back this week, it went to the Erie County Sheriff's Reserve Mounted Unit, so they can take care of the horses or buy themselves a pizza, whatever they want to do with the money. I don't have a whole lot. I had Gilwald, I had potholes. Really got nothing else that came up. I actually do. You know what? I do have one. I haven't spoken to him yet, but I did receive an email. Salem Church claims that the way that the sidewalks were plowed, it caused possible damage to their grass. I don't know if that, do we run a plow, Dave, I'm sorry again, do we run like a Ford F-150 with a plow over the sidewalk at Salem Church, that wide area?
Yeah, we started there. We're gonna all the way down to this.
So if it ruts up or causes issues with their grass or something, should I have them contact you?
Yeah.
Okay,
We fix all lawn damage in the spring.
yeah, I didn't, he sent an email, I requested a call back. It was before the council meeting, so I didn't get a chance to get a hold of him, but the allegation is allegedly that this truck, the way that the sidewalk is plowed, which you just clarified is actually plowed, the sidewalk. So, okay, so I'll have them get a hold of you once I talk to them, so whatever damage they have. Thank you. I have nothing else. Third Ward.
Is Katie here, the assessor? Okay.
No, she was excused tonight too.
Okay. Does anybody know anything about the change in the veterans exemption for property tax? There's supposed
The
to-
100%,
Yeah,
the last we heard was because the way the legislator did the wording, there's an and in there. So you have to be 100% disabled and total disability, total unemployable disability. I forgot the acronyms like TDIU. So you have to have both. We believe the spirit of the legislation from the state legislator was that was supposed to be an or, not an and. So I believe it's in the state budget. The correction for that is in the budget, but until that is corrected, it's still an and you have to meet all the criteria.
affect their taxes this year, but going next year probably.
Affect whose tax, like veterans?
Yeah. I mean, that'll.
Well, they can apply for it. If they meet the requirements, now they can apply for it. If they do put an amendment in and it gets loosened, then more people can put in for it. But as it stands, it's still a valid program. It's just that and really eliminates a lot of people because there's people that are out there. I have a neighbor in my area, it's a veteran, and he's at 100%. He works full time, so he's not eligible. And then we have some people to get the total disability unemployable rating. You only need to get to 70%. You have to have 70% with at least one disability qualification at 40%. So it's a 70 total rating with at least one at 40. And then that would give you total disability if the VA rates that you cannot work. Right now, you got to meet both those requirements to get that exemption that you're speaking of.
Is the state going to finance this, or is it going to fall?
No, that was your question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the question. Is it going to fall on us?
By the taxpayers?
By people who don't have the exemption.
Okay, that's what,
Unfunded mandates.
okay. Is that reflecting the rate when you do the taxes?
Yes, the assessed value into the, yes, would affect everybody else pay more.
Okay.
I don't know if the mayor knows the answer to this question. Do you know, or the administrative assistant, Marty? Do you know? Does anybody know if we have any of those exemptions that met the qualifications?
I don't know.
That's an accessor question. If how many households we possibly have on that. But as it stands right now, it's very burdensome to meet both of those standards. So hopefully the legislature is going to change it.
Okay. And the other, I just wanted to comment on our copper repair. It's so nice to see positive TV coverage of the city of Tonawanda. Other communities are looking into buying it. Dave, you're doing a great job with it. It's on the radio, it's on the TV. It's a good thing. It's better than the city of Buffalo, who are doing that $400,000 AI program to go through the city to read about that.
Yeah.
They're doing a scope of all the city, and they'll issue a report on what streets need to be fixed. And so it was good job. Thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Fourth ward.
Yeah, I second that. Thank you, Mr. Franzak, for keeping that machine going. Streets are looking good and the holes are getting filled. I had a couple outstanding questions on, we have the public hearing on these ordinances.
You're going to ask about those questions?
Yeah, should I wait?
I was going to ask the city attorney. He has questions on those on these resolutions.
Okay.
And he doesn't know whether he should be discussing this with you now in informal based on we already have it set. Okay, there you go.
One for, and it's merely maybe for the mayor, for the vacancy. Do we plan on adding headcount for this, or are we gonna absorb this in our current, structure?
That's the devil in the details. We'd have to compass on what we think it's gonna be and whether we can do it in-house or not. I can't give you an answer.
I'm saying you might have to hire somebody outside the city.
Or another employee, whether that be part-time or full-time, because the building department in all likelihood won't be able to lift this, but we have to figure exactly what it's gonna entail to come up with that.
Okay, and then there was a section in there about fees, 14.424. I don't know who that goes to. Martha, if that goes to
Those,
your-
everything was reviewed by the building department, so
Okay.
I assume that they're all in order and they meet with, but Eric's here, I mean.
Yeah, so do we have a timeline, Eric, maybe when if this got passed, when those fees would be published? Or we'd have to wait on another ordinance?
Well,
for
first
that?
of all, the whole ordinance has,
Yeah, that has to pass.
and it has to go into our code, so.
Okay. And then we come up with the fees after that.
And we have to come up, we also gotta come up, Eric, the building department has to come up with proper forms to fill out, that has to be done too. One form I've given them, on the other one they'll have to help generate. The registration form is easy. The other one will be a little harder. Will go into effect when we pass it, but I mean, it takes time to get it out to the public, but certainly it can take effect immediately. The enforceability part take a little longer.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm asking about the fees, the cost benefit there. When we would know those fees would be.
Those fees will be when we have the forms ready for them to register.
Okay, but we don't know what the amounts will be.
I think
Does it
the
say-
amounts are stated.
The only one underneath the, it said the 1 year, 1% in value, but then the vacant buildings didn't have It's just a fee schedule.
But we'll set up a fee schedule. I mean, if that's not in there, there'll be a fee schedule set.
So essentially, you wait on that, and we'll, again, we have to pass on it for fee schedule. But we don't, do we have an idea what that fee schedule would be?
I don't offhand, I mean, we just need to be comparable to what other municipalities are doing.
Okay. Maybe similar to 1% less. Sure.
I mean, some of the percentages are set out, but the percentages are set out with regards to what the penalty will be if they don't comply.
Yeah, that was just on the land.
Well, it's also on, I believe, on the buildings. It's on the buildings as well as the land. There's an additional percentage, I think once 3%.
Land tax, it's land tax. Building,
There's no difference between the buildings and the land. Percentages are the same.
they should be, those should be. the same.
And it has to deal with what they are currently assessing.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. It just specifically says vacant land tax. So that's useful. We have to make sure it's, or it's tidied up. Okay. After that, I had a lot of my questions answered on the tax. However, one thing I thought of later, we didn't designate residential versus commercial. So right now it's just a general ordinance.
For the docks?
Yeah.
The docks has to do with Ellicott Creek,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't matter if it's whatever it is, whatever it's zoned for at the time.
It's still.
Most of the, I believe, most of Ellicott Creek is residential, so. It's zoned, if your property on Ellicott Creek is R1, that's what it is. But the whole point of the dock ordinance is so that we can change the zone. They're looking to have a waterfront zoned area, but we cannot do that until the dock ordinance is passed.
All right, that's what it said. What this might be.
The whole point of the dock ordinance is to meet the waterfront revitalization.
Yeah.
But, and they're creating a separate zone for waterfront. But they won't create the separate zone unless the dock ordinance is passed. And plus the fact we don't even have a current ordinance that addresses that.
Mr. Inspector, are you aware of any commercial, any that are residential? Are you aware of any commercial on the creek or?
Commercial in which sense? Commercial, and I'm just gonna rent my dock to someone?
No.
Or
There,
stiff boys that marine.
yeah.
There are no marinas on or anything.
Yeah, so like Inner Harbor or anything.
Well, Inner Harbor,
Boathouses,
boathouses are private,
they're all private, okay.
all private.
They're all R1?
Some of it's R1, some of it's M1, some of it's SCM, it all changes down the creek.
Okay. All right.
One side of the creek, here, Ellicott Creek, one side of it's R1 single family, the other side of it's M1 for manufacturing.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, let's back up to. All right, thanks. That's all I had. Questions? Thank you. That's all for now.
Anything else? Nope, all set. All right, well. We got about 12 minutes before the public hearing starts, where we'll pass it over to the mayor. Then after the conclusion of the public hearing, go back to the resolutions, and if required, we will do motion for executive. I don't know if we do or if we have anything. I don't, you know. So at this time, I'm going to adjourn the informal session. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Seconded by 4th Ward Council member. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, we'll be back here at 7 for the public hearing.
That fee schedule gets adopted annually, so it's separate. That's an annual, it says annual, so we.
Okay.
What we do is, set a fee schedule, we bring it to you. It's accessible, but it'll be something that'll be drawn up that's comparable to the rest. That's just for the vacant building.
Okay.
Right? Vacant land doesn't have building, so you just charge. And the thing, I believe it's at 1% of the assessed,
Okay.
over what was already paid.
Yeah.
They're still required to submit.
Okay.
So they could incur an additional.
Yeah.
They failed.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Done well, being on the same page with everyone, so. I know, Steve and Dave. Yeah. Sounds good. I think it's going well. Yeah, it's about to start. It's 7 p.m. Thank you, sir.
I'll use the same insurance.
Does that work? I know.
Just the doc is rapid.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Oh, I did talk to.
All right, time now is 7 p.m. This time, we will call the public hearings to order. The council is present. City clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye, here.
Greg. Voice and A.
Here. All right, at this time, I will turn over the council to the mayor for the first public hearing. If you want to follow along from what the mayor has said, we're going to do 4 individuals. The first one will open, comments close, and then so on. They will not be 4 jumbled together, it'll be 4 individual ones. So, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. It's great to see everybody here. I know you're for this public hearing. At this point, City Clerk, could you please read the first notice for the hearing?
Yes, sir. I'll read the introduction and then number 1. Notice of public hearing, City of Tonawanda, the Common Council. The Common Council of City of Tonawanda will hold a public hearing in Council Chambers, Tonawanda City Hall, 200 Niagara Street, Tonawanda, New York, on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 at 7 p.m., at which time interested persons will be heard on the following matters. Matter number 1, that the Common Council hereby amends Section 62-193, Schedule 15 of the City Code entitled No Standing, specifically regarding the east side of Young Street, and that said section is amended to designate the no standing zone from Luskin Drive to a point 637 feet north thereof.
Thank you. So as we stated, we're going to go through these 1 through 5. So right now, the public comment is just for number 1. Would anybody like to come up and comment on number 1?
So if you're following along with the resolution sheet and not
Sorry.
the public hearing sheet, number 1 would be resolution number 19. On the second to last page, number 19.
Does anyone have a comment on resolution 19? City Clerk, do you have anyone online wishing to speak?
No, sir.
Does anyone at this time have anything to say about resolution 19? I have to repeat this 3 times just so if you're wondering why I'm doing this. City Clerk, is there anyone online wishing to speak?
No, sir.
Last call, number 3. Anyone like to speak on resolution number 19? How about online?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing on the resolution on no standing on Luxon Drive. City Clerk, could you please read what is mine number 2? You have what it is.
Where they are until he reads it.
I'll read it, sir. And just for clarification, that was the closing of no standing on the east side of Young Street, correct?
Young Street, yep. For the
Okay,
Luxon
nope.
Drive.
Public hearing, matter number 2, that the common council establish a non-resident, residential, or commercial property owner registration to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our residents, to protect a diverse housing stock from deterioration, and to facilitate service of process and administration of housing inspections and code enforcement.
This will be resolution number 16. Public hearing number 2 for resolution number 16.
Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak about resolution number 16? Anyone online, City Clerk?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Calling number 2, anyone in the audience that would like to speak about resolution 16? City Clerk, how about online?
No, sir.
Okay, final call, number 3, or resolution number 16. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on it? No one at this time. How about City Clerk?
No, sir.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the public hearing on resolution number 16.
Public hearing matter number 3, that the common council establish a vacant building and land ordinance to set forth an orderly procedure for identifying vacant buildings and land transferred to developers for the purpose of development, registering them and imposing responsibilities upon the owners thereof, with the goal of fostering either timely rehabilitation or development for the appropriate use and occupancy or demolition of the building or development of the land as was anticipated.
So public hearing number 3 is resolution number 15. Number 3 is resolution number 15.
At this time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak about resolution number 15? City Clerk, online, is there anyone wishing to speak?
No, sir.
Call number 2, anyone in attendance would like to speak about resolution number 15? City Clerk online?
No, sir.
Okay, third and final call. Anyone wishing to speak at this public hearing on resolution number 15? Online?
No one online, sir.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the public hearing on resolution number 15.
Public hearing number 4, that the common council establish private docking regulations as there is currently no other rules or regulations governing docks in the building code or city ordinances.
So public hearing number 4 is for resolution number 17. Public hearing number 4 is for resolution number 17.
Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak about resolution number 17? City clerk, anyone online?
No, sir.
Second call, anyone in attendance that would like to speak about resolution number 17? We have someone? Yeah. Come on up to the microphone, please.
Luke Jabolski, 445 Elkin Creek. Just a couple concerns, a little breakdown of rules. I do agree there should be some standards in place for putting docks in an Elkin Creek. A couple things that could stood out to me is number 9, yeah. 2.5 feet for the depth of boats to be in. You know, a pontoon boat or a small fishing boat, even like a jet ski dock. Technically, you wouldn't be able to dock any of those with that ruling of 2.5. That's on, can't tell what the number 9 within that section. Something else I saw was number 4 there, where it says 1 dock per property. And you guys talked about this a little bit last time. Well, if you have a boat want to tie off correctly without having your boat bash against its dock, you really want to have a couple tie off points to dock that boat. So maybe look at doing a docks per so many feet of waterfront that you have. It's like if someone has 100 feet of waterfront, maybe you have 2 or 3 or 4 docks. You have 25 feet of waterfront, maybe you only have 1 or 2 docks to quarter of your neighbor's property. So maybe adjust that based on how many water front you have. A lot of the other things I think were good ideas, honestly. Number 6 on there, that's when I had trouble kind of understanding about 15% across. That's hard for me to just kind of conceptualize, so that's what is easier terms to understand. Those are just some of my concerns on that as far as with that waterfront. With the city owning so much of the creek as well, you know, probably 1,000+ feet of waterfront on Elk Creek, just making these rules not restricted. You guys want to do eventually, whether it turn into a park, subdivide and sell it out. So just a couple ideas, a couple concerns that I had working through this.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience that'd like to speak about resolution number 17?
I just want to point out to Mr. Polsky, who's trying to concern. This resolution, this ordinance was put together by several experts across the state. So this is common around the state. In order to have grants, $100,000 for the city, we needed to pass this ordinance. Now, there's always exceptions. The way to do that, of course, you want to put up more than 1 dock, piece of property, apply for a variance. The Board of Appeals will review it. If they determine it's a good thing to do, correct. That's how you get around some of the requirements that are in this ordinance.
Last call on number 17. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on resolution 17? City clerk, anyone online?
No, sir.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the mayor's open meeting on resolution number 17.
Public hearing number 5, that the Common Council amend section 42-48B of the city code to allow the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages will be permitted in the confined area behind the Miller Band Shell in the business operated by Spano Enterprises, LLC.
Public hearing number 5 is on resolution number 18. Public hearing number 5 is resolution 18.
At this time, anyone from the audience wishing to speak up, please come up, state your name and address, and feel free to speak.
Yeah, Jim is just, I'm a citizen here of City of Colorado, and I love our park, as I think a lot of people here do. And I think a lot of people were really shocked to find out this is all going on. And I just have a few questions, simple questions that need to be addressed. And as a citizen and taxpayer, I was told I was entitled to ask. One of them, did the fire department okay the use of propane in fire pits for cooking? And they got it okay by the insurance people. And our public recreation space is going to be redesigned to commercial to allow businesses to operate in our public park. Can you ensure that our children will be safe in the restrooms and the bike paths where people are consuming alcohol? Don't we already have an established area for this type of business at the gateway area, where bathrooms are already there and adequate parking? We don't have adequate parking here in the park, in case some people haven't been there, and it's a terrible looking place to begin with. Has an environmental impact study been done to protect our precious, very limited green space and the wildlife that live there, that the people come to visit and see? They don't come to look at shipping containers on the taco sales. But shipping containers, I saw a stand-up can't live on and lots of beautiful food. Well, now inadequate parking be improved so people don't have to store the land, people come to the concerts. For anyone else being allowed to park their shipping containers, once a precedent has been established, I'm no lawyer, but I understand precedent, and people will come say, I want to do it too. And we could be sued liable for that, according to what I've been told. Do you expect a $12,000 a year to have about $1.5 million deficit? I'd like to know how. I'm sure you do. People come here to get away from the daily grind and expect a peaceful experience, not to buy food and alcohol. Will our police department have to police the area when drinking gets out of hand? And it will. I live there and I watch the police taking towing cars out all the time with people that are drunk there now. They don't have access to alcohol in the park. But we don't want access to alcohol in this park. I don't know if anybody agrees with me. Yeah. All right.
I live at 261 Niagara. So you say that area is going to be broke up. Who's going to be monitoring that to make sure that people stay in the that comes guaranteed? Nobody stay. Also, people are going to bring their own alcohol. There's alcohol is already allowed, and they're going to drink also. Who can travel? I live across the street, and I watch on my porch all the time. There's families having picnics, there's people walking their dogs, there's all this. Putting a big container right there, you're taking away a whole huge space where people sit with their families, where people enjoy just being by water. In that container there, you're taking away space for that business with control for because people can't sit at their tables because they're for customers or go in certain areas now, and it's not a public park or public space, it's their area of business. And I see people, they do the yoga over there, they do so many different things. What are you gonna do about that now that you're gonna have all these people coming there for taco and drinking alcohol and sitting by fires? Like, I just don't see it being something that's actually like a good idea. It's just not good. Not in that location. Like, I can see you putting it down maybe by Mississippi Lights where there's no business or something, but in that area where the stages where families go to watch plays and people I see having picnics, people fishing off that little dock, I just don't see a business there being a good idea. Just from me watching there, I've lived there for 15 years and I watch all the time. It's on the course and I just watch what goes on there. People change it, and it's just not something that I was.
Hi, my name is Brella. Already. I just want to bring the fact that for those of us that moved down the river or the river view, not only is that being blocked, but now we're going to be dealing with people with excessive alcohol, with children, with a shared bathroom, with no parking as it is. Some part-time getting in and out of our house in the summer. On top of the fact of the increased policing increased costs of the fire department. Drunken people running around where there's children and there's access to kids who come to the park for safety, for fun on their own. They come accompanied by their families. Now you're going to add all the things. On top of the fact, within walking distance, there's multiple restaurants. They'll get a family meal. People come down and frequent those businesses and try to park afterwards. Are they gonna stay around and share the city with us? There's alcohol involved. I don't see how it could be functional for anything. I work in insurance and liability. I've spoken with both of you about this, right? You mentioned you'd let the neighbors know if future things went on. I notified businesses yesterday, and I fired both of the people that are here because you didn't let us know. You did it all without telling any of us, and now we're here to try and ask for no alcohol because you already made the deal on the ship. I don't understand how it's feasible or how it's fair to the neighborhood, really.
My name is Mary Beth, I live over on Elm Street, and I'm a little confused. So you're already putting this eyesore in. This is a done deal, and we're just talking about alcohol tonight?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are, I don't even know where your head would be to put something in that beautiful spot. That is a spot, like other people are saying, that we walk and we bike and we sit. You don't need to be bringing a restaurant down there. You know, put it down by the Grand Island Bridge if you have to have something, but this is, people are coming here for the peace of the river. This is, people come from miles around to be down there. And you're taking a prime spot in our city to put up, I don't even know what a picture of it is. What's it gonna look like? A food truck storage container? This is just outrageous. This is just outrageous. I don't even know if you people live in the city of Tonawanda and go down there. And alcohol? Come on now. I got 3 grandkids. We're on our bikes every night down there. They go up in the band shell and they play. And now you're putting a restaurant? That space is being used constantly. There's parking during the summer. I mean, I ride my bike down or I walk down. I don't even bring a car down. But all the parking space is already filled. We don't need people coming down for tacos. One second. Shame.
Sure. Hi, Jeannie Susky. I live at 241 Niagara, and I also own a house next door to 41, which is directly across the amphitheater of the park. So I'm gonna first state that I understand the city's budget problems, and I'm all for development. And we all love to go to North Tonawanda. We like what they have there. All those businesses, they're great, but those are in business zone areas. They're not in a park. Why aren't we developing? I know maybe we're trying, but our efforts should be developing empty spaces, vacant spaces. We've got the main part of our city with an empty McDonald's and an empty Rite Aid just sitting there, and there's a prime place where if you had all these businesses, you could walk to the canal and walk to the park after you eat. And I understand. I just heard about this whole thing. I've been watching what's going on there, wondering what was going on, and I just heard about this last night. So if some of my facts are wrong, I apologize, but I was trying to find out information today about what was going on. I feel that it's my understanding where the city's only getting like $11,000 or something from renting this spot for 3 months. I pay that myself in taxes for the 2 houses. That's almost nothing compared to our budget. And what are we losing putting this in? The park is full constantly, and the area is used for concerts and car shows and craft shows and yoga classes. And now we're going to have, there's really no reason to put a giant eyesore in there. And why is it permanent? If they're going to be open 3 months, why don't put it on wheels and get it out of there for the rest of the 9 months? I can see it being full of graffiti sitting there. And how about lighting? Is this going to be lit up so people don't ruin it? And now we have light pollution as well at night when it's supposed to be peaceful. there in the park. The alcohol, I know that's what we're here to talk about, exactly, because it's too late for the other things, but, it's so busy there in the summer, which is great. I love the activities. We all love that. It's exciting and we all get to enjoy the view. But it's very busy and with the cars parked but that's why we have the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, because it's very precarious there with people walking around in the lot park. Now we're gonna have people drinking there, driving, walking drunk. I think it's a safety issue. Why do we have to have alcohol everywhere? You don't, I mean, I'm nothing against having a drink, but why does it have to be in the park when there's other options? And why do we, we teaching the kids that you have to have alcohol to have fun? No, you don't. Okay? So I think it's a bad idea in all respects.
I appreciate your comments, but at this time you are going over, so could you
Oh,
please?
no, I haven't. Okay.
There's a 3-minute time limit, but I don't want to cut you off, so please, if you could surmise without being repetitive.
Rats. My understanding is the city's only gonna dump their garbage twice. What if it gets full? I mean, there's problems with that. And, sorry. Anyway, I just think it's a bad idea, and I think it might, but the city has thought about extra charges that you're gonna have to incur, who's paying their utilities. We need extra police to get the people out of the park at 10 o'clock. It's just a bad idea.
Bill Simon, 6 Plymouth. I just wondered if it was coincident that every week the memos are posted on our website, on the city website for the meetings. Coincidentally, this one wasn't. It wasn't until I called the mayor's office this morning at 8:30 that we found out that whoever was responsible, whether it was Mario or Sean, who's no longer a councilman, whoever was responsible, this wasn't up. So there are a lot of people in this room that didn't know about it. Yes, I'm the guy that stirred up this whole nightmare because I put it out there. But my concerns are, will Spano Inc. open this place up if he doesn't have a liquor license? Will he run a restaurant there without a liquor license? And I think your answer to that is no, because it's not going to be profitable. He does not have a license at this point. I've already spoken to the SLA. I spoke to Conrad's office. I spoke to Kennedy's office. Both of those offices, by the way, were not aware. I obviously didn't speak directly to them, but they were not aware that this was happening in the public park. When it was originally proposed months ago, they talked about a fenced area to keep the drinking within the fenced area. And I realized a 4-foot high fence is the same as a 4-foot high rope, but suddenly we changed it to a rope. So we've opened up the opportunity. My question to the SLA is, if I'm inside that roped area and I buy a drink and I hand that drink over the road to Ray, and of course he's going to get a ticket because that's the right thing to do. You can't have a container in the park. So he's responsible for that ticket. Am I responsible for handling the drink? No. Is the restaurant responsible? Part of the SLA, they will be responsible. I asked, and of course they'll only give you a generic answer to this. They've had numerous violations when they were down Riverworks with their liquor license. They've had numerous violations over on Maple Road, and something I didn't look up, but they also have a very bad track record for food poisoning. That's public record. It's not something Bill Simon's making up. My question, and somebody brought it up earlier, is who's going to pay for the extra police? I know the police department's right here, but if we don't think we have to have extra patrols in the park when we have alcohol and children and voters involved, we're kidding ourselves. Number one. Number two, is DPW going to be stepping up and maintaining the bathrooms a couple of times a day? Bathrooms are marginal at best there, and the garbage is marginal at best, and they do a great job of keeping up with it, but this is only going to add to it. We're not back charging Spano and his restaurants for this. We're getting $11,000 for the year, which isn't even $1,000 a month, which is not gonna put that in your budget. So my concerns are, and as you heard the majority of the people that spoke tonight, this is not a good idea to have alcohol at the park, number one. Number two, the whole shipping container idea is an eyesore. Okay, it's an eyesore when I drive by it, it's an eyesore when I'm in the park, and I gotta put up with that 12 months out of the year. Now, I know you live down by the park, Mayor, good for you, but people gravitate down to the park in the winter. Get sled down there, things of that nature. They gotta put up with that eyesore gonna be sitting there 12 months out of the year. It is not a food truck. It is a shipping container, which people quit calling it a.
Mr. Simon, you're approaching 4 minutes. I'm letting you go, but can you please stop being repetitive?
Sure, anything for you, sir, you are my. Thank you.
City Clerk, is there anyone online that would wish to speak?
Yes, sir. There's one person. I'm going to go ahead and unmute them and then let me know if you can hear them. Mrs. Yost, you've been
Hi,
unmuted.
good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm not gonna beat to death some of what other people have said about the quality of life and the concerns about the alcohol, other than to say there are some hidden costs in that I do have concern with about the alcohol, and that it does change the culture, and I believe that there'll be more police presence. And what my major concern here is the liability for the city, that the city may not have considered with the layout and the parking and the requirements to have handicap accessible parking without knowing the layout and intent for more parking spaces. Ultimately, that restaurant who's going to drive traffic with people drinking and busyness, they're going to want to occupy those handicap spaces if more aren't put there. That will have the and then that will have the consequence of our residents who do depend on those spots to just enjoy the park may not find a space. We do have to comply with the ADA. I mean, both as a city and also that restaurant as a public accommodation. I have to say that as somebody who had knee surgery and found herself in a wheelchair, fortunately temporarily, I have a new appreciation for how society really overlooks people on walkers and wheelchairs. I would like to meet the balance of furthering business while not taking away from the citizens. And I don't think the parking is adequate now. I think that we have an okay amount of handicap spaces, but also we would have the responsibility if somebody can't get to that restaurant from the spaces, are we going to carve more paths? I kind of feel that jumping in and saying, well, let's put them there and let's figure it out later could be a dangerous proposition, especially since it's not a rolling food truck. And I'm not an expert at it, but I think if they become somewhat of a fixture and we decide that it really does breach the peace, it's costing us a lot in the police, because it really is a taco and margarita kind of place. We may end up feeling that this was a mistake that we can't easily back out of. So those concerns to me are primary. I think, the issue of alcohol, I do see the problem. It's a slippery slope. If you let one place in with alcohol, you're going to have a contingent of people who will start walking around with open cans. This may breach the peace in the sense you've got people like me who maybe want to be there with my grandchild and just have a relaxing day, and you have a lot of drunk people. And so these are unintended consequences. I would also like to see the businesses be more all year round restaurants. I mean, more power to Mississippi Mud and Old Man River, but they closed down after a few months. And then if I want to go eat indoors somewhere, well, those spaces are taken. So if we're going to put something in that area, I agree. Let's not block the view. Let's not take the parking tables the parking, the tables, the bathroom, let's put it somewhere further down and let's think about something that's actually going to be a year-round destination. So those would be my thoughts on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Or anyone else in the audience that would like to speak?
Councilmember Fisher, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm having an audio issue.
No, we'll have you wait just because I don't know if it's recording.
It is recording, and we do have a backup audio recording. And can you hear me?
We can hear you, city clerk.
Okay, I can hear you again.
Okay, mayor's gonna continue.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes. Yep.
Amy Allen, 263 Wadsworth Avenue. I just have I have a couple questions. First is, who's paying the utilities for that? Is it the business? Is it the city? Who's paying their utilities for their business?
For the electric and water. So part of the lease was to reimburse the city for that. We didn't want to put a separate water meter in or a separate electric meter. So they're going to run the power and the water from the bathroom. And then the deal was, it was $200 a month for electricity and the water that they'll use.
Oh, I pay more than that now for my home, but okay. My other concern, question is the water being really close. There's no barriers or anything there. I don't know with alcohol consumption, I know that that's our focus today. So what stops somebody from overextending themselves, drinking excessive alcohol, and maybe falling in the river? There's no barriers there, right? There's just a pathway and some rocks. Just something to think about, just safety. I mean, that hasn't come up. We talked about the animals, the rats, those kinds of things, but I don't think anyone talked about no barriers there near the water closer to it. I just think that needs to be thought about as well. Thank you.
City Clerk, anyone online wishing to speak?
Yes, sir, I did have one person who put their hand down, but let me check with them by unmuting them.
Okay.
Hi, Lindsay Jelski, 203 Rogers. I just wanted to say that we're always talking about bringing businesses in, bringing opportunities in. And I feel that although today we're talking specifically just on the alcohol part of this, I don't think people realize that people are in the park drinking because I've seen it. We host events in the park and I've seen it. I go to the park with my kids and I see it, amongst other things that they're doing in the parks, right? So it is something that is happening, regardless if there is a restaurant. But I also think that this is a opportunity for people who are speaking tonight to also realize that some of these concerns that people are talking about, like there's why can't we use downtown? Why can't we use this area or do something over here? This is a great reason for why people need to stay involved and pay attention to what's going on, because you'll understand that some things have already been discussed, or why things can't happen in certain areas, or what areas we do own and don't own. So I just wanted to have a quick moment to say that some of the concerns are still happening even without that restaurant there. There's times that I've been at that park and have seen people completely drunk and not able to walk properly, and there's no restaurant. So I just wanted to have that quick opinion and ask people to, continue to stay involved and pay attention to everything else, because it's not like it's a new topic. This was discussed last year, just not in as much detail. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak?
My next question.
Sure.
So how is this working now? Do we really, as residents, have any say-so in this? Or is this just something that you're gonna decide anyway? So we've come up to speak, but you're like, well, yeah, we're gonna let them come in, and no matter if most of the city doesn't even want it, it's our decision because we're running the city. Is that how this works now, or are we voting on it? I mean, why did we bother coming tonight? Where do we stand with this issue? How do you decide from this point on?
There's a resolution after we close this meeting. The council will have a chance to vote on the resolution.
So this is my fault for not knowing all this was going on. And so, because what I would have done then, okay, so that I'm not involved in city government at all. So what I should have done when I first heard, which I didn't hear, that something was coming on the river that, I didn't want, and probably most of the city doesn't want. We should have gone to our council person then? Is that the process? Oh, so you're just gonna decide what is going in our city when we're the resident and we're paying the taxes. I'm hearing that you're getting $11,000 for this. That's nothing. Utilities are going to be astronomical. Look, my electric bill is gone up. I'm paying $150 now I'm alone in my house and I hardly use any electricity. So, this is not going to benefit the city. It's not financially, beauty wise, any wise at all. And shame on all of us and our council people for not coming to their residents and asking if they wanted something crucial. Tonawanda is a place people are coming to because of the river. And oh yeah, I can't go on vacation anymore because of a personal family issue. I go down there and I sit at night and I feel like I have and I'm down at the van shop. I feel like I have a little part of going on vacation. I have a little part of what I used to do, going to lakes and rivers. And now it's going to be a container down there. I don't even know how you can live in Tonawanda and even accept this. This is outrageous. So, yeah.
That's a question.
Please come up to the microphone so we make sure it gets taped.
Yeah.
Is this lease agreement with this business published so we can read it? Because I heard that it's gonna happen this year, I guess, whatever. But if there's a contingency for next year, and depending on how it goes. So we may have an opportunity to really see how it goes, and maybe many more people will like it. What's the process, or can we read what, you know, how we not, if we don't like it, how we stop it next year? Yes.
When council authorized us to sign the contract, the terms of it were in there. You can ask the city clerk and he can give you one.
What is it signed?
City clerk, do you remember when we passed this resolution for authorizing me to sign the contract?
Maybe in the resolution.
Was it this March 17th meeting? Perhaps I could look that up.
February 17th, it was executed on March 2nd.
February 17th was the council where it was passed, authorizing me.
What order does?
Just want it in, we're all gone.
So I'm going to try to answer some of the questions and give you a little background. So I respect everyone's opinion and I'm glad you folks came out, but I can also tell you that I've had more people call me and tell me they think this is a great idea, that they think using the waterfront's good. Here's the problems, please. I let you folks speak and now don't shout out. Let's be respectful to everyone. The city has a problem. We have a $2 million deficit. There are two ways to get out of that. You can increase taxes, which by the city treasurer's number means in order to balance that, we need to have a 25% tax increase, or we can cut services. There's some current contractual limitation on the services we cut. In essence, the only thing we could cut is our complete parks department and the DPW. So we have very limited ways to solve this problem. Does this one thing, is it a magic bullet? No. We've been meeting with developers, Benderson, who owns McDonald's, to try to get them moving, Karuba to get the project on Fillmore, Dave Stapleton with the Vets Park. We've had 3 different meetings with them. We're trying to develop the properties that aren't developed right now, but we are at the mercy of these developers, which is why the city attorney came up with some of those previous resolutions to hold them accountable for their, vacant land or empty buildings. Our thought with this was that if we try this and it works, 500,000 people, they tell us, go or use the bike path in this section. It's the most used in New York State. But the city doesn't do anything to capitalize on those people. We just let them drive by, ride through on their bikes and leave. The theory was this: when people come in, if we give them a reason to stop, to get off their bikes, to take a look around, they might say the same things you're saying. This is incredible. This is a great place. Maybe I'd like to move my business here. Maybe there's apartments that are brand new that I'd like to buy and come in and help our whole community by making it flourish. My assistant would tell you the developers that come in and look out think, I can't believe this is here, but it's so underutilized. You don't do anything to develop it and bring it in, or bring people in and get them to stay. One of the things we did with the contract, it is a 3-year contract, but after the first year, we have a right to get out of it if things don't work. Most of you know, and if you don't, I was in the police department for 33 years. I am not going to let this turn into some drunk fest, out of control thing. We will have the police department shutting them down. The SLA will make sure that this alcohol is consumed in the area that's designated for it. If we get complaints that they're taking it out of there, handing it over the rope, I'll personally make the referral to the SLA to shut them down. But we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. And so this was just a way. Does it work? Is it something we can improve on? Our thoughts were, you go anywhere over in England, you go to Central Park, they have these stands. We didn't want to necessarily compete with Mississippi Muds. That's where the Papa Grandes and the tacos came. It doesn't compete with their hamburgers, their hot dogs, their ice cream. We're trying to supplement what's already there. As for the alcohol, Old Man River serves alcohol now. It's there. Squires, there's a new company or new business coming in. There's alcohol there. Again, it's not going to be a party festival open till midnight. The police are going to be on this. And we're going to try to make it so it is a family place that your grandkids might want to go for a taco in a bag while they're sitting on an 80-degree night at the water playing Connect 4 that's in their area. That's what we're trying to accomplish. If it doesn't work, I'll be the first one to stop it. But in my opinion, we have to try to start doing things to let other people in other communities say, boy, that city of Tonawanda, they got their act together, and look at this waterfront, and this is where I'd like to live. And I might look for a place to live or open a business. And that's what we're trying to do. If it doesn't work, then we'll learn our lesson and we can try something else. But to just not try something is a mistake, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing. And that's what this is about. So at this time, I'd like to close the public hearing and turn it back to. You can speak at the
It'll be after the rest.
At the after.
It'll be the after. You want to take them now? It's up to you.
We can take you now. I'm happy to take you now.
If you like it, please press play. It's your hearing. I don't mean to cut it on you, but if you do,
Oh,
if it does make it, it'll be at the end.
That's fine.
Well, we'll do what you're saying. These are intelligent people here. Many of them are my neighbors, city people. And the trouble is, nobody knows about this. We found out like 24 hours ago, it's on Facebook. Who's on Facebook? People are busy with their lives. This is something that you should have a referendum. You should have to get a consensus and opinion of the people before the decisions are made. Nobody wants alcohol in the park. Okay, tacos, no alcohol. Okay, but nobody wants a big, ugly, container there year round, just destroying the beautiful. You can live here with nature, displacing animals and creatures, and everybody's talking about the safety of the children. How would people let their grandchildren walk over there? I don't like that. Somebody has to tell them whatever they do all day. People they get drunk 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. Well, and that does compete with Mississippi. Like it's food and alcohol right here on the river. And I know people. I help sport groups talking about alcohol and drug addiction with people all the time. And I would tell you, the people that I talk to, they will be down there because half of them can't drive anymore. They will walk to get there and get drunk all day long on the river. I know that's going to happen. You cannot know. Maybe you can guarantee it. I shouldn't say you can't. You are saying that you're guaranteeing that nothing bad is going to happen here. It's going to be perfect. So the people in this city are going to hold you people responsible. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Go ahead. City Clerk, we have another person that'd like to say something.
I'm just like,
Please, can you say your name again and address?
if you moved it down towards Mississippi Lights, because like people said, they do the car shows, they do craft shows, they do all that stuff right in that area you're putting the container.
Yeah.
So not only are you putting the container, they're putting alcohol in the park, which I honestly don't think alcohol is a good idea at all. But just putting that there in that area where people picnic, people watch the plays that go on, people do yoga, people have their shows and all that. It's just, you're just taking away, you're putting one thing in where we already had things going on. So it's like if you moved it down and figured out, like maybe not put it towards the water and this way, more towards the street where they got all that grass that's open, down a little ways, it might be one little safer, you can contain it a little more because it's just a hill and there's a wall. It's not water in a parking lot where you can go any which way out over a road that I could probably step over or go under if I wanted to. It's just not a good location for it at all. And the alcohol just adds to the whole, I just don't like the alcohol, but the location stinks too because we already had things going on in that area. It's like craft shows, car shows, people doing yoga, families picnicking. So it's just a crappy location in general, even with alcohol. But I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Okay, so Bill Simon again, 6 Plymouth. I like your idea of moving it down a little further, but I believe if I'm correct, we have a grant coming for a natural playground in that area they're talking about utilizing right opposite the mud. There was a lot of talk about putting a rocks and sticks and trees playground into kids. So now you're inviting more kids to go to the park, and it's okay to have alcohol there. Just doesn't quite make a lot of sense. It's your game.
Anyone online, City Clerk?
No, sir.
Anyone in the audience?
Hello. My name is Jody White, and I live at 239 Hydra Street. I don't know what was already said. Excuse me, not a very big talking person. But all I know is that if there's campfires and if there's alcohol, which will encourage weed and cannabis being smoked, it will come directly into my house area. I don't know who my mother spoke. Her name is Jeannie. She's put over $500,000 into the houses that I live in. And sorry. We're just trying to make the area, at least what we can control, more elevated to the park. I mean, the park is just, I go there for natural air and natural space, and I feel like all that's been gone. Let alone the sandflies, the seagulls, and the geese. And I heard that we were not putting in like a dumpster, so like the garbage bottles. I don't know, I just see it being a very not great idea. Could be anywhere else, utilized in the abandoned McDonald's. I don't know if that was said. Or the Rite Aid that was talked about being in an Aldi. Again, I don't know what was said, I came in late. But I just believe it is a horrible idea. And I just hope that we can consider anything else at all.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rich Sardone, 64 State Street. I only have one question. Assuming this is moderately successful, does that mean next year we'll be here when you start lining up all of the containers from more restaurants? Thank you.
I'm really sorry. I've never spoken at a meeting before, but this is outrageous. I'm outrageous about this. Mary Denty, I live on Adam Street. And I want to respond to something you said about wipers coming through and they can stop for a taco and see what the area is. They're already seeing it. Okay, they're biting through saying, well, this is really nice. I have many relatives, my family out of town. They come in, my garage is filled with bikes. And they're just like, wow, this is beautiful. I run an Airbnb also. I've run it for 4 years now on Adams Street. And people come to see the fall. I have people from all over the world. You name it, they've been there. Germany, every place. They say, oh, this place is really nice. It's beautiful. They love the falls, but then they'll be down in the river. And I've had people come from other parts of the country and say, this is a great area. This is something, this is a really nice area. I don't think you need tacos down on a riverfront to see that it's a nice area. Okay.
City Clerk, anyone online?
Yes, I have one person. I'm going to go ahead and unmute them.
Okay.
You're welcome to state your name and address. Keith Murphy.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Keith Murphy. I live at 211 Rogers Avenue. I just wanted to speak in favor of the idea. I just think that there's not a lot going on at that water except for Mississippi Muds and Old Man River. Those are the only two businesses there. I think that a new business would create attraction. I think it's a great spot. I think it should definitely be by that concert venue. I think it would give a lot of people the opportunity to hang out and mingle at that park after things like yoga. It would just be a good attraction for people. We need to do stuff to bring people there. For 4 months out of the year, maybe it's busy. And not only that, but there's plenty of parking. To assume that there's going to be all these problems with alcohol when, they're going to have a liquor license. So if there are problems with that, if they're over serving that, I just don't think we should automatically assume that they're not going to be a good corporate citizen. You know, I mean, we're all adults here. So if you're not going to be out there causing a problem, then why would you assume that everybody else is? I think anything that brings business to this area, brings competition, and invites people out here would be a good thing for this town. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. City Clerk, anyone else online?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone in the audience that hasn't spoken that would like to speak? I'm not quite certain. So do I have to do it 3 times now?
No.
Okay. Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the public hearing on resolution number 18.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, we will unsuspend our formal and go back into the formal, continuing at resolution number 15. Do I have a second?
I would like to make a motion to table.
Well, we get a motion to, or a second to come back into the formal session. I have a second by the 4th Ward Council member to come back into the formal session. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so we are back into formal session and we are going to start at resolution number 15. And at this time, council member from the 4th Ward has made a motion. Can you please continue, sir?
Make a motion to table this. I was absent at the last meeting, did not have the opportunity to discuss this with the rest of the council. I feel like this affects all the wards and we need time to discuss it and have the full council vote on this. So I make a motion to table this until next session.
This time, there's a motion on the floor by the 4th Ward Council member to table resolution number 15. Is there a second? It is seconded by the 3rd Ward Councilwoman Susan Gregg. City Clerk, can you please call the vote on tabling resolution number 15?
Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Boyson A.
Aye. At this time, resolution number 15 has been tabled. I will try to clarify for the audience through the city attorney. If there is discussion and amendments to this, will we hold another public hearing on that?
No, it'll be put in final form and that'll be it.
And that will be the resolution. Thank you, city attorney. Okay, so that's resolution 15 will not be voted on. It is tabled. Okay, city clerk, ready to continue on resolution 16?
Yes, ready when you are. Resolution number 16 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second? It's seconded by 3rd Ward Council member Susan Gregg.
We make a motion to waive the reading of this.
I also have a motion on the floor by the 3rd Ward Councilwoman to waive the reading of resolution number 16. Do we have a second? Seconded by the 4th Ward Council member. City Clerk, call the roll for the waiving of the reading of number 16.
Is that clarification? Is that for 16 only or any other resolutions?
16 only at this time.
Okay, thank you. Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Boyson A.
Aye. I declare the motion to waive the reading passed. City Clerk, so you have the count. It's resolution number 16 by me, seconded by Council member 3rd Ward. Comments or questions? At this time, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Boyson A.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Number 17.
Resolution number 17 by Councilmember Fisher.
Make a motion to table this resolution.
City Clerk, please hold. We have a motion on the floor for the 4th Ward Council member to table resolution number 17. Do we have a second? Seconded by the 3rd Ward Council member. City Clerk, can you please call the roll on the motion to table resolution number 17?
Fisher.
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
voice an A.
Aye.
Yes, so resolution number 17 has been tabled at this time.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 18.
Yes, resolution number 18 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by the 4th Ward Council member. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a comment.
Comment by the 4th Ward.
Yeah, this has been discussed in many open forums, multi council meetings this past year, so I'm actually apologize that this is the first time that the public's actually coming out to this. It's been discussed multiple times. I also supported this in February back when we passed the ordinance or resolution, because we do have an out. Okay, so if things go wrong, if there's issues, we do have an out. So it is one thing to support with. But it is unfortunate that now at the last minute, this is when we're here for the public. I wish really we could hear from the public sooner, so we can make better, smarter decisions.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's-
honestly, we don't find out about this.
Open meetings every week, every other week. They're
All
open
right, then
meetings.
it's not yet.
Yeah, and it's on the website, the agenda's published, everything's published.
This one was in the Kenton B also. We did a whole article on it.
So I mean, really, we take these serious. Yeah, we take this serious, and we do have an out. Wish we heard these comments sooner, but in the future, hopefully people will attend.
Want the email address that I can get a response to that? Or that.
All right, so thank you for your comments. I'm going to make a comment myself to address, there was a lot of things. I wrote all kinds of notes here. As far as the note, being on notice, the Kenton B did a whole article on this coming to this location. We've actually been talking about this since last year. It started under the predecessor, and that location came to be. This was actually referred to from North Tonawanda. He was trying to get space. He didn't even want to come here. He wanted to go to North Tonawanda. It's just they spilled over. We finally got one. Yay! I'd like to correct the natural playground location. The natural playground location is actually in front of is scheduled to go in front of Old Man Rivers, which does have an active liquor license at that location. So this location, we're talking about this container truck, is further down. So it's not near there. Cannabis use cannot be used in a licensed establishment. So they shouldn't have any cannabis use at this location. I don't know where fire pits came in. Everybody keeps talking about these fire pits and open fire and burn barrels. I don't even know if he has plans to have them. I've seen his location in South Buffalo, and it's like life-size Jenga and Connect 4, Adirondack chairs. I don't know where this fire pit thing came in. I don't know if it was just a ruse to get people all stoked up. That there's going to be fire pits. Well, maybe Buffalo News isn't the most accurate. If there is fire pits, we'll have a conversation with him to not have a fire pit. He doesn't need the fire pits. And that would be a fire regulation. If it's an open burn, he has to have it covered. He has to have a water source. If it's a propane, how are you not going to burn yourself? Because I know there was one of those places that had igloos during COVID, and they had outdoor fire pits. Everyone was burning themselves on the edges of the where they'd set their drink when they were on the fire pit. So I definitely see a fire pit, but that's a restaurant regulation. That's not a council matter. It's going to completely change the area. That's the goal. Start bringing more people in here. There's multiple family businesses there. Well, one of those family businesses already sells alcohol. People come from all over to use this river. That's the plan, to get them to stop and come in. A lot of this stuff was already addressed. You want us to raise taxes? I'm sorry.
He pays taxes.
Who pays taxes?
Fair Promise pays taxes.
Pays less than what this guy's paying in rent at both locations combined. I got the numbers. I'd like to read he's shaking his head. You want me to read the numbers?
You know who this is?
The Barafado. I know him, Frank. I talked to Frank, but we got the numbers. Less utilities, but what you pay in city taxes.
Taxes or utilities are going to be $200 a month.
It's offset by the rent, and it's subject to negotiation for the second year. We have an out. Jason brought that up. We have an out on the first year. This is an experiment. What the mayor said is basically a program of resilience and hope. This is what we're trying for. We got to do something. We want to raise your taxes. People come in and say, don't raise our taxes. We want to put something at the water. They come in and say, don't put something by the water. So the plan is to just do nothing forever. Like, don't raise taxes, don't cut services, don't bring in businesses, and make a Rite Aid into a taco shop. Like, it's going to have my support. If you guys haven't figured that out, I will be voting yes on it. So if there's any other comments? Anyone? Okay. At this time, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Would you like for me to read the resolution, sir?
I'm sorry. Yes, please read the resolution.
Yes, sir. Whereas the city of Tonawanda at its common council meeting on February 17th, 2026, authorized the mayor to enter into a lease with Spano Enterprises LLC for the operation of a restaurant and tavern business behind the Miller Bandshell in Niawanda Park. And whereas the mayor executed a lease agreement with Spano Enterprises LLC on March 2nd, 2026, and whereas it is now necessary pursuant to the terms of the lease to amend section 42-48B of the city code, whereas this ordinance amendment was introduced and passed at a meeting of the common council on April 7th and duly published in accordance with municipal home rule law, and whereas a public hearing was held on April 21st, 2026 at 7 p.m., now therefore be it resolved that section 42-48B of the Code of the City of Tonawanda is hereby amended as follows by adding the following sentence to that section. The sale and consumption of alcohol beverages will be permitted in the confined area behind the Miller Bandshell and the business operated by Spano Enterprises LLC.
We already went through our comments and questions. So at this time, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg. Aye. Boyce-Annay.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 19 by Councilmember Fisher.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Third Ward Councilmember Susan Gregg.
Whereas the title of this resolution ordinance has been published at least once in the newspaper of general circulation, more specifically on April 10th, 2026, in accordance with section 2.047 of our city charter. Now therefore be it resolved that chapter 62 entitled Traffic and Vehicles, article 5, Traffic Schedules, division 2, Stopping, Standing, Parking, section 62-193, schedule 15, No Standing, shall now be amended to add the following: name of street, Young Street, east side, location from Luskin Drive to a point 637 feet north thereof. Be it further resolved that all other sections of said ordinance remain unchanged and in full force and effect. Be it further resolved that the above amendment shall take effect upon publication of its title in the official newspaper of the city of Tonawanda.
Comments or questions? I have one comment. This is on behalf of the First Ward council member who discussed this at previous council meetings. He is absent today due to he's having a medical procedure tomorrow. So he asked that if I could put it up for him so we could get this done for that business. So that's why I'm on there as a sponsor. This is on behalf of Jim. Any other comments or questions? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Boyce-Annay.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 20 for New York State Executive. At this time, Mayor, do you request to go to executive? Third, fourth, second is a negative. We will not be doing resolution number 20. This time, I'm going to call the meeting to an adjournment. Do I have a second?
I'll do public comments after.
They want to do public. All right, I apologize. May I remind you, we're going to do public comments on the resolutions. Is there anybody wishing to have a public comment on the resolution? You may approach the microphone. City Clerk, is there anyone online that would wish to make a comment on the post resolutions?
No one right now, sir.
Okay, at this time, I will conclude our formal meeting. We've already had comments by ourselves for the informal. So at this time, I'll make a motion to adjourn the formal. Do I have a second? Second. Seconded by the Fourth Ward Council member. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Have a great night. Hey, Mark, how do we?
Which, yeah, you could make, ask for, motion years to make, you're gonna need a second.